Hi, I'm Peter Alsop. Thanks for stopping by my Songs to Chew podcast. Today, let's chew on one of the songs from my Pluggin' Away album, Costume Party. It's October, and I've noticed scatterings of children test driving their Halloween costumes in the supermarket aisles, making sure they work. Hidden inside their new identity, they are no longer just a child in a supermarket. They've been transformed by their costume, and they want to be sure that they're all set for the big night. But with the COVID virus still spreading in many areas, they may be asked to wear a mask on top of their mask. It's delicious fun to become someone else, isn't it? Costumes enable us to explore completely different realms than those we ordinarily inhabit. So, let's go explore our song to chew for today, Costume Party.
It's a costume party, and everyone is here. It's a costume party, and everyone is here. Now you, come on. It's a costume party, and everyone is here. Good, come on. It's a costume party, and everyone is here. You wear a blue dress, you red sneakers.
You wear a suit and tie. You wear flowers. You wear stripes.
You put makeup on your eyes. It's a costume party, and everyone is here. It's a costume party, and everyone is here. You wear brown skin.
You wear white.
Your head is clean and bare. You poked holes through your earlobe. You got a wart, I bet, somewhere. Or maybe you dye your hair. It's a costume party, and everyone is here. Hey, it's a costume party, and everyone is here.
We may be blind or we wear glasses.
We used to stutter when we talk. Sometimes our ears just do not hear.
Or we use wheels when we walk.
It's a costume party, and everyone is here. Hey, it's a costume party, and everyone is here. Our disguises could win prizes, each one's qualified. But the only thing that really matters is who we are inside. It's a costume party, and everyone is here. Hey, it's a costume party, and everyone is here. Come on! It's a costume party, and everyone is here. Yes, it's a costume party, and everyone is here.
Every one of us wears a costume. Every day, the clothing we choose to put on when we get up is essentially our costume for the day, right? And when we wear different costumes, we get to see the world through different glasses, which is great, because we can learn so much by exploring other diverse ways to go through our lives. We build new skills and are exposed to new and different ideas from simply rubbing shoulders with others who are not like us. It's true that most of what we learn comes from the people around us, with whom we are most familiar, our own families. But some family lessons we absorb can be very difficult to change later on as we get older and find that we need to shed some of the beliefs and behaviors we grew up with in order to grow. Our costumes provide us with our outward appearance. That might not exactly fit who we are, but that's okay because we're just trying things on to see how they fit us. And that all changes as we grow and learn about ourselves. It's interesting to see how our costumes, our clothing and appearance, affect other people and how they respond to what they see. And the same costume can generate a bunch of different responses from different people. Did you ever notice that when we see someone who's unfamiliar or different than we are, most of us are at least curious, and some of us become extra cautious or even suspicious and fearful of other folks who look strange to us. I'm mostly curious about people who look different than I do. I've got friends who pay lots of attention to how others look, and I watch them worry about fitting in and gaining approval from others themselves, so they're constantly preoccupied with making sure they look good and don't stand out as different. Some folks are ashamed of their appearance, and they kind of hide themselves and try to stay out of the limelight. It's easy to forget that beneath our elaborate costumes, disguises, and covers and masks, all of us humans feel very similar feelings: happy, sad, scared, and angry. These are where we connect. These are what we have in common. And when we realize this, our differences of appearance, our costumes become fascinating and delicious and a cause for curiosity more than fear. Some costumes we choose, like our clothing, hairdo, hats, makeup, or earrings. Other factors of our appearance we're born with, or we acquire as we live, such as our scars. And there's our skin or hair color, our gender, our baldness, our age, or any of our visible physical differences, abilities or disabilities. We usually feel more comfortable being in a group of people who are similar to us. Unfortunately, as we gather ourselves into homogeneous groups like that with people like us, we tend to avoid other groups of people who aren't like us. Maybe it's subconscious, and we all just need to feel like we belong. Some of us hang out with a group of people who have become our family of choice because we feel so comfortable around them. For some of us, that's our birth family. But for others, our family of origin doesn't feel like a safe place, so we make our own family of choice. Lots of times, the group members in our chosen group of friends look very different than each other and come from diverse backgrounds. It's called a heterogeneous group, and it has some distinct advantages that more homogeneous groups don't have. Heterogeneous group members usually find it's easier to assimilate into other widely diverse groups, which is often what happens in cities that have a widely diverse population. Another advantage is that when we spend time with people who are different than we are, we get to know them and we drop our nervousness about their differences. And it becomes easier for us to notice and appreciate our similarities. For instance, there are a lot of studies that show that when we mainstream children with developmental disabilities in a public school, all of the children in that school learn and grow from the experience of being around kids who are different than they are. And they build skills and understanding and getting along with people who look different or come from different cultures. Overcoming our own fear of rejection is necessary for us to break out of our isolation and start new friendships. That's why having a costume party is a good idea, especially when we've learned how to be a safe place for others and we don't immediately judge them. When we're not afraid, we can let others reveal themselves to us instead of trying to strip away their masks. I'm Peter Alsop. I hope some of these ideas might spark some discussions with your family and friends or classmates. That's it for today. Please subscribe and join me on this podcast next week for another Songs to Chew. Bye for now.